between two buoys in a Zoom meeting. We're between two buoys, virtual sailing. We're between two buoys, you know we lost our yacht. We're between two buoys in a Zoom meeting. We're between two buoys, virtual sailing. We're between two buoys, you know we lost our yacht. We're between two buoys in a Zoom meeting. We're between two buoys, virtual sailing. We're between two buoys, you know we lost our yacht.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of Between Two Buoys, presented by the Lake Minnetonka Sailing School. We've got a very special guest all the way over from Italy with us tonight. But before we jump into that, just wanted to give everyone a quick update on the state of the sailing school. We received some great news last night on the announcement from Governor Walz. It's not a full green light, but it's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel. So rest assured, LMSS is doing everything we can to make sure that the school is going to be 100% ready to go. And if you are thinking about signing up, one thing that is probably going to be for certain is that we're going to have limited capacity this year. So if you're thinking about signing up, we encourage you to do so sooner than later, and make sure your son or daughter can be out in the water this summer. So we're also working really hard on the safety restrictions to make sure that that your child is going to be safe and the staff is going to be safe out on the island. And again, we're just looking forward to having a great summer of what we can make of it. So joining on the show tonight is Alec McKee. Alec is the director of the Lake Minnetonka, or assistant director of the Lake Minnetonka Sailing School and a high school sailing coach. He's also the voice behind the music that you just heard right there. So Alec, we're going to try to work up to doing maybe a live performance here for us here shortly. So Alec, if you want to say a few words.
Yeah, I put a lot of work into that song for these guys, and rumor has it that the grand finale of this series might be a live performance. So if you're dying to witness this, stay tuned.
Awesome. All right. Well, without any further ado, our special guest for tonight is Federico Michetti, all the way from Italy. He's in the mountains of Italy right now. And before Federico jumps in, I'll just give a quick bio. But the bottom line is if you're looking to win a world championship and bring your program to the next level, Federico's your guy. He's basically got 11 world titles, 10 European titles, multiple U.S. and other national titles. I've had the pleasure and the, I guess, frustration of trying to race against Federico. And yeah, simply put, he's the best. So Federico, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, and thank you very much for inviting me, Alec and Sam. This is great. It's a huge honor for me. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thanks for being here. I think
Thank
one
you.
thing that's impressive, Federico, is not only are just you probably one of the top sailors in the world, you're also a program organizer. You help to run the classes. You run the logistics for a lot of the sailing teams. You work with the sailmakers, the boat builders. So you've got a lot going on. How do you manage it all?
I don't know. You should ask my wife. She's very unhappy.
I bet. How, just quick recap, knowing that you guys are on the front lines, how's everything looking over in Italy at the moment?
I mean, first of all, I'm very glad for you guys that you have sort of lights out of the tunnel. We are still struggling here. Things are getting better. We have some small release on the lockdown. And I really hope that we will be able to go back sailing as soon as possible. So few regions in Italy, they already released a sailing in family environment, and I keep my finger crossed. But all good.
Very good.
A lot of working, I personally using this time at home to, first of all, to enjoy family, because for us, the professional sailor is very tough. We are sailing a lot around the world. So at the beginning was a little bit strange, but I'm working hard in order to make good planning and scheduling for my sailing next adventure.
Yeah, well, having a family and being a professional sailor is not easy. So the question is, are they tired of having you home so much?
The kids are enjoying that. My wife, she's counting. I mean, she's keep asking when. I mean, I come back to her a few days ago saying, wow, they just canceled one regatta in June.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's hard. You can't run the household like you do a sailboat sometimes. And yeah, hopefully they listen to you as well as some of your teammates do.
no, but I tell you, it's been a great experience. And I learned a lot from these days. There are a lot of very similitude. I think that is the right word. Sorry, guys. I hope that you understand my Japanese. Sam did, because we know each other for a lot. But I think that, I mean, we need to be patient. And again, I always try to find the positive side of things. And spending these 2 months with my kids, with my wife, being like a normal dad has been great.
Awesome.
I have no regrets.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few silver linings that have come out, but yeah, I think if, like the rest of us, we're ready to get back out on the water and do some sailing and return to some normalcy. So, well, one thing we're going to do with all of our guests on the show is, you know, all of top athletes have routines. Like basketball players tie their shoes a certain way, and for sailors, one thing we have to have is sunscreen, and everyone's got their own routine. And so we want to, you know, pretend like we're going sailing today. So why don't you show us what you do for putting on your sunscreen before a day of sailing?
Just a second, Oscar, I'm not crazy, okay? This is a joke. Sorry, because I'm here with my kids. It's 9:00 p.m. and my kids watching me with a hat and with the sun cream. They are like, wow, that baby's really the time to go back sailing. No, guys, sun cream and sun protection is very important. As you can see from my face, I discovered that very late. So I know that is boring, and sunscreen are like maybe not the best for sailing, because when you're sweating, all the cream is going in your face, but in your eye, but I think that is very good. So I will start. I have this sunscreen, okay. I have this cream that just gave me, so it's very difficult to get focused. But this is the cream that I use more. It's a stick, so is not a fluid, and is very good because you can put this in your face, in your nose, okay, in your ear, on the neck is also very important. Sam, don't laugh me, okay? I want you to look at the cream.
I got mine ready, don't worry.
So, and it's very important because this is staying in my pocket. I think that is much better to compare the liquid cream that Sam have, but Sam has always lose against me, so we all need to be patient with him. But this is good because this can stay in your pocket and you're not going to destroy the box with your feet. So it's good. You have to put it a lot, and normally I'm putting my cream at least every regatta, every race, sorry. So it's very important. I'm 47. I look like a 75 just because I don't use enough cream. So hat and cream and sunglasses.
All right, well, I'm going with the banana boat tonight. The sticks are pretty nice. Like Federico said, I've had this happen before where you have the tube, you put it in the pocket on the side of the boat, you step on it, and the next thing you know, you got sunscreen all over the boat. So
Sam, we are talking with young fellas. They don't have pocket. They don't have shit pocket, okay? They are not like you. I mean, bring a stick, can stay in your pocket. You cannot squeeze that. That's it, okay?
All right. Okay, I'm getting mine. So I just like the one finger application. Get it on my cheeks, on my nose, really important area just below the temples right here. Get, like Federico said, back of the neck, got to really rub it in. And I think it's really important to remember to reapply throughout the day many times because, like, you sweat it
Yeah.
off, spray comes on, just keep applying it.
Sam, don't forget to remove your hats too.
Good
What's
call
better
there.
with the hats?
All right, Alec, let's see yours.
Yeah, well, I hate to do it, but I think I'm on Federico's side here with the solid stick. I got a little sun bum here. Can you see it? Got a little easy application here. Yeah, what I'm hearing in Federico's talk here is that just better aerodynamics. It's the wind flows around your face a little bit faster, and all around gives you a speed boost. So I'm pretty sold.
I like it.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I know that all the mom are saying that cream is very safe, and they are I'm absolutely right. But in order to don't looks bad like me and Sam, use your screen, your sun, your cream every day. Okay.
What about your
Again,
beard, Federico? Is that part of your sun
no,
protection?
I mean, don't
Does that
touch
help?
this. Okay, don't touch this because this is 2 months of quarantine. I mean, my son that is 14 have a better beard than me, so I'm very disappointed on that. I try hard, but it's not working.
All right. Well, we're all ready to dive in now to some real good questions.
Just a second, Sam. You have something on the nose.
Ooh, gotcha.
Is that better?
No, but okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, now we're ready to dive in, and we got a couple of good questions for Federico, but then we're also going to learn from Federico on his top 5 tips to put together a successful program and to be successful in sailing. So, Federico, the first question I had for you, when you're a world-class trimmer now, you're on the Quantum 52, you've won multiple world championships as a trimmer. At what age did you realize that maybe you weren't the best tactician or helmsman and that you had to be a trimmer?
I mean, first of all, and I think that I'm very lucky, I'm not sure that I'm even a decent trimmer. Okay. So, but beside that, I mean, I grew up far from the water, basically 4 hours from the first club. And I was dreaming about sailing when I was a very kid. And then, I mean, I've been lucky because my dad was in love with sailing, but he was also in love with skiing. So for me, I grew up skiing in the winter and sailing in the summer. That is a great way to grow up. And I spent all my summer working on the club that was not a very good club. I mean, it was without any racing high-tech project. I remember that I was doing the course, the sailing school in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the late afternoon. I was a total pain for my coach because I was always following him, and my passion for sailing was so big that I spent all my summer on the ramp working with the coach and sailing as much as possible. So I started sailing Optimist for 20, and then again, I mean, it was too difficult. I always wished to compete, but it was too difficult for a guy living 4 hours from the water. So let me say, sailing has been just a passion since I was 18, 19. Here we are driving an 18. So as soon as I got the driving license, I just basically disappear every weekend.
Awesome. That's great. Well, and so again, as you think about a trimmer, I got to be a trimmer for a little while. You're obviously a world-class trimmer. What do you think it takes to be a world-class trimmer on a top-end racing program?
Just passion, guys. Passion and dream. Dream, keep dreaming, try to work hard, and then everything will come just alone. I mean, but dream. Never stop dreaming. This is the key,
I like it.
Because
That's
if you really want something, it will happen alone. It's just that inch by inch, wake up every morning and try to be as best as you can. This is the way.
Very good. I like that. So one big thing about sailing, and you know this a lot, but is the nicknames that we all get through sailing. I was chatting with a couple good friends this week, and Andy Burdick mentioned that, you know, when you guys did the 2013 Malgus 24 Worlds that you won, he mentioned that you had a nickname of Tiger. How did you get that nickname? Tell us about that a little bit.
No, it's just that, I mean, I like to sail hard, and I like to, I mean, for me, enjoy a day of racing is working very hard. And I honestly cannot remember that Andy called me Tiger, but I mean, it's a huge honor. It's a huge honor.
He said all your Italian friends called you the Tiger. So
yeah, no, I mean, you need to be very intense. So I think that is it's easy to get when I'm on board. I like to work hard. Be a teammate is the key. And in this regatta, was very important to keep the mojo up and try to be aggressive into the crew. So I think the Tiger come from that.
Got it. Well, that kind of brings up one topic. You know, we're watching, there's this big Michael Jordan documentary that's happening in America right now. And one thing that's coming from that is how intense he was with all of his teammates. And, you know, sailing with all these top tacticians like Andy and Harry and, you know, Vasco and some of these guys, like how intense they can be. And you're even intense yourself. How do you manage the intensity on the water with having fun and being productive? And how do you manage all that?
I mean, I think that is something that you learn how to manage the intensity. You know, like for me, one of the I've been very lucky in my life to sail with the top sailor in the world, and I was desperate to learn as much as possible. So I hope that I learned for everything. And like Vasco Vascotto, that is one of the best tacticians in the world. I mean, I learned from him to never give up. Never give up, don't be lazy, and try very hard every day. And you know, when you grow up, when you're a kid, everything is new. The biggest issues is when you grow up, and it's so easy to become lazy and leaving the routine, even of racing. Okay, then is the time when you start be not going forward. And in the sport, when you're not able to go forward, you're going backwards. So when, again, passion is the key. And when you're passionate at something and you always want to be the best and try to be the best of yourself, the best of yesterday, this is the key to the success, I think. At least to your personal success.
Very good.
I really like that, Federico, and I think that's really interesting. And you know, I feel like as sailors, we all run into this kind of laziness sometimes, and it's really difficult to keep working towards our goals. And I mean, how do you keep your motivation really high and combat laziness?
I mean, there are many ways, you know, and there are also some negative way to always to be aggressive. Let me say, okay, so I like the term of Sam. The tiger. You can be a very aggressive tiger. This don't mean be unrespectful. This don't mean cheating. This not means be bad with competitors or teammates. This just means, just a second. Hey, sorry. I'm leaving the family. It's 9:30 and my son was just asking me where is the food of the dog. So, just a second. Orlando. Per favore, vai a farlo di là perché sto facendo una roba molto seria. Thank you. Okay. So I think that you always need to challenge yourself, and you always need to beat yourself to be a better sailor and a better person than yesterday. And this is something that can be great at school, can be great when you're both sail racing, and when you are with your friends, and when you are then tomorrow you're working. So always try to be better. And this at the end is fun. You know, at the end is fun because you are a better person. It's not always easy. There are good moments, there are bad moments, there are average problems that are the moment that I hate more, because when you are average, you don't understand, you don't learn, you know? And then it's so important to lose and to have a bad day in the water and to learn than winning and just not thinking of which mistake you did. Or even worse, to win yesterday and then sailing tomorrow with a different mojo just because you think that you are the best, or you are scared to be again the best. So sorry, my English is not very good. I hope that you can understand, guys. But again, never give up and always try to be a better person than yourself yesterday.
That's awesome. Staying on the topic of nicknames, you know, one thing I've struggled with a little bit, and you've pointed out to me, is my weight. You know, like I like food a lot, and I, you know, sometimes weigh in a little heavy for some weigh-ins. I've had some nicknames that have come out like, you know, Tubsy or Pudding or Muffin, those type of things. I was talking with Tom Burnham the other day, your coach of the Quantum 52 sailing team, and he said that you have the nickname of 93. Maybe tell us what that means a little bit.
I mean, I'm a very good looking person, okay? No, I'm joking. But these come from last year. Last year I joined for my first time, and this is another very important thing about sailing. The best sailing experience in my life come at 45 years old. I mean, guys, I'm sure that there are a lot of young fellas that are following us tonight. Guys, I don't know what age you are now, but I've been 45, and the best sailing experience happened in my life, sailing in quantum racing. That it's an unbelievable thing. I reached the top of sailing, okay? And the problem is that maybe I look skinnier. I'm not like you. I look skinnier. And I think that no one considered that my weight is 93. So when I jump on the scale, we have in our lazy big boats, we have our weight limits. So every regatta, we have to jump on the scale, and we need to reach the minimum weight that we can. So they have been all shocked about my weight. That was 93 kilos, that they think that is something around 201 pounds. I know I look much skinnier than that. And so they start calling me 93. And honestly, I'm they are thinking to make me upset, but they are making me very happy, because I love 93, because is one of my favorite team. You remember Sam, team 93 on the Magister 32? Yep. Is the number of my address. I have a lot of great memory on 93, so it's a very lucky name. So I'm sorry, I just discovered a good secret, but every time that they are calling me 93, they are making me happy. Good. Well, Tom, I'm sorry for you.
That's the one thing about nicknames, is that you can't fight them. They're that's what they are, and you got to just take it. And yeah, it kind of makes you, even when people call me Pudding, I kind of don't mind it. Guys,
when a sailor is joking with you, there are two tips. First of all, he like you. Okay, because especially with Kiwis, if Kiwis are not having fun of you, means that they hate you. And second thing, don't fight against a nickname or a joke, or it's the end of the world. Yeah, that's good advice. So do you think that maybe it'll be closer to 100 by the time you get back on the water? Or no, I tell you, I'm very fit. I'm very fit. I'm in the mountain. I walk a lot. I'm doing a lot of backcountry ski, and I have my road bike. So Sam, don't talk. I mean, we are not all like you, okay? All right. Well, good enough. Well, so the main I can't wait to jump on the scale of quantum racing to kick Tom Byrne. Well, one thing we wanted to chat with you about, is going over the top 5 tips of how to be successful and build a successful sailing program. And I know, again, you've got some great overall lessons for us, and just in terms of enjoying the sport. But, what are some main top 5 tips for our junior sailors out there on how to be successful in sailing? Okay, Sam contacted me last week, and I got a little bit of preview of what we were doing tonight, and he mentioned about these 5 tips, and wow, my list was like 15. So I tried to squeeze the list, and I'm sorry, but are 6. Can we handle 6?
Yeah, we can handle 6.
We're okay,
Okay,
with
good.
that. Yeah.
So patient, journey, hard, learn, focus, respect. Passion. Sailing, I mean, doesn't matter if he's sailing, if he's okay, if he's ice boating, swimming, doesn't matter. Guys, if in your life you're so lucky to grow up with a passion, you already win. You're a winner. Okay? Doesn't matter if it's a competition, if it's a pure sailing. Guys, let's find out something that will make your life better. So dream, and dream with a passion is the best gift that we can receive from God. The journey is all about the journey. It's not the goal, it's the journey. Having a goal is great, but sometimes having a goal means only become paranoid or losing the focus. So again, it's not, if you really want to win a world championship, if you really want to win an event, doesn't matter if it's a world championship, it's a local racing, don't be focused on the winning. Just try to do the best journey that you can. And I keep repeating this in my team. The journey is the way to do it. So, because at the end, if you are not able to win, but you work hard, you win again. Yeah. And the goal is what I mean, I know that top pro are doing that, is just leaving the dock. Don't think about the result. Don't think of how many points the guy in front of you have or the guy behind you have. I mean, just be focused to leave the dock, do the right procedure, try to find the right method, and just try to be perfect and to sail hard and to mark every little point. Don't invent something new. Just try to enjoy your day in the water, and I'm sure that you will be back sailing at the dock with a smile. And this is the goal, because every time that you are trying, okay, I want to win this race tomorrow, it's not going to happen. Just think, tomorrow I want to leave the dock, I have to rig my boat, I have to reach the race course, I have to reach the race course 40 minutes before, 1 hour before, I have to do this, I have to do a decent start, I have to be safe, I have to find a way to not to invent something. Just try to repeat your routine. And this is something that I learned in quantum racing. I mean, I'm an Italian, I'm a little crazy, we are Latin, and sometimes we are acting randomly. That is great. But at the same time, the routine is the routine, and try to go through the right process is the way to go. So hard, work hard. No, sorry. You have to work even harder, because nothing is for free, nothing is granted. So take care of your boat, take care of your equipment, treat your sails well. I mean, do more than, do as much as possible. I mean, I like a lot to be the first at the dock. Even if I don't have to do something, I like to be there. I like to smell the dock. I like to enjoy the early morning, and then to be ready, not to be in rush. So work hard, guys. Work very hard. Be paranoid. Write down the notes. Try to do maintenance. If you have to check something, check it. Because I mean, if tomorrow it's an important day, and you feel that maybe you have to take the rig down to just check that the little blocks of the spinnaker halyard is fine, do it. Because if tomorrow the blocks break, you lose. You know, and be lazy is slow. Be a lazy sailor means be a slow sailor, and not means being a winning. Learn. Try to learn as much as you can. Everything. I mean, I remember myself when I was a kid, watching, I mean, I grew up in an era where internet was not available, YouTube was not existing. I remember with a length, it's a good word, term, length. I remember watching for hours with a length what a good trimmer was doing, what a bowman was doing, how the spinnaker pole was, if it was below or above a jib sheet. I mean, learn, because learn is the best thing. I mean, I think that I will become officially a loser the day that I will not learn anymore. Focus. Go sailing and do your best. Do your best. Procedure, routine. Try to be the best of you every day with no regrets. Believe me, you will be back at the dock happy. And most likely with a great score. But focusing on every single thing. What I hate, what makes me crazy when I'm sailing with, I mean, I've been lucky because I grew up where amateurs was not existing, okay? So it was like amateur sailing or professional sailors. And today, there is a great rules, the Corinthian rules, where amateurs are able to sail with top pro. I grew up, you know, sailing where coach were not existing, basically, okay? So today, you guys, you're lucky. You have to learn from Alec. You have to learn from Sam. I mean, never stop learning. Never stop being focusing on try to be the best of you. And then I think that is also respect. I mean, respect the competitors, respect all the volunteers that are working to put the mark down, to set the committee. Don't get crazy if the line is not perfectly square, if the top mark is not perfectly on the wind. I mean, don't care about this. I mean, respect about your competitors. If you do a penalty, do a 360. Don't cheat, don't try to invent something. Just try to be respectful of the others, and the other will respect you. So these are my 6 tips. I mean, I think that I've been very lucky in my life because I grew up very far from the water, and at 46 I'm living my dream again, still my dream. I'm sorry, Sam, but I won 13 world championship and not 11. Okay. but I'm still here thinking every day, wow, who knows if I'm so lucky to be able to win the next one, to win another world championship. I mean, I always feel that I have to grow up, and I cannot wait, and I cannot just hope that everything will be normal. I have to work hard, as everyone, as Sam. I mean, even Sam, that you can see him with his big face, but he's a tiger. I see him changing completely his personality when he jump on his boat, you know, and be a tiger and be a tough sailor don't mean to be unrespectful, don't mean be a bad person. It's just that a guy that is so focusing and he want to beat you, and it's great. It's great because at the end, when you go back to the dock, okay, you're not drinking beer. I hope, maybe you are, but but the great thing is being at the club, at the barbecue, and be friends. And doesn't matter what's up in the water. And if you did your 360, you can walk with your face up, looking at the sky with no regrets.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's that's really awesome stuff. And that's the challenge to wake up motivated every day and go out and fight for your dreams like you're talking about. I really like I've heard you talk about the journey piece before, and that's one thing that I try to do, whether it's sailing or work or hockey, and just really trying to enjoy the journey and having fun along the way, because if the fun component of the journey is huge, and if you're having fun, then like you said, the results will usually follow. And the times where I'm not having fun is where you are focused on a result and you get stressed, and you end up kind of losing focus of what's important. So the journey piece is really good. Awesome. Well, Alec, did you get some questions from the high schoolers? Is that right?
Yeah, totally. So I work with the Minnetonka High School sailing team, Federico, and my coworker Ian. He's the head coach, and he'll be hopping on this call in a minute here to give you a couple rapid fire questions. So might be joining us while I ask these. But first, I've got a couple questions kind of on behalf of some of the kids. So I think the first one would just be, if you could go back and give your child self some advice, what would it be?
I mean, find a sport that you like and go for it. And try to be as better as you can. And if you are so lucky to get back home and to go to sleep, and before fell to sleep, think how great was your day doing what you love. You are a lucky guy. You are a winner.
That's right.
Nice. I like that. So one other thing too that we've been talking a lot about. So we do Zoom calls like this with our kids, and we do longer talks with them. And I've been really into some sports psychology and talking a little bit about how our brains work in the context of sports. And I was wondering if you, as a pro sailor, have any kind of insights on how you train your mind to be a professional athlete.
Wow. I don't have the secret. I keep working on that, but again, for sure, having the right method and having the right procedure and not trying to reinvent the wheel is the key, because somehow our mind is very interesting, because I think that most of the time we are our biggest competitor and we are our biggest enemy. So guys, when the pressure go up, you just need to grab your procedure and to grab your attitude and just go for it without inventing the wheel.
Yeah, I like, and Alec, I think we hear a lot of, especially, when we listen to pro sports here, is trust the process, trust the procedure. And it's definitely, it gets used a lot, but it's a lot harder than it seems. But it's developing that process and developing the procedure and sticking with it. And I like, Federico, you've said a couple times today now, of not trying to invent something, right? Like,
but still, guys, Sam, still now, the night before a big day where you are challenging for winning a world championship, your mind start making all the cases. What's happening if I'm losing, if I'm doing a wrong tack, a wrong jibe, if I make something stupid, or wow, let's hope that tomorrow there is no wind so I can win the world, or let's hope that I have to avoid to do a OCS or something like that. I mean, all these are making you weak. Just think how great is sailing, and just leave the dock to enjoy what you like more, because you are a lucky person that you are able to do what you love. That's it. Go there and go for it.
got it.
Another tips, guys, don't watch your message, don't watch your email. I mean, because all your friends are pushing for you, go for it, come on tomorrow. I mean, all these things are personally make me weak. So the last night I switch off my phone, bye, see you tomorrow night. We'll see. Be in the bubble. Okay, another important tip, be in the bubble. Okay, in a bubble where you are trying to keep all your emotion away.
Got it. We actually got I think word got around Italy. Ian's getting on here shortly, but I think word got around Italy that you were coming on our show. And I got a question from Vascato, actually, who you've sailed with a lot. So he actually said, you've sailed with a lot of world-class tacticians, Federico. I hope I'm one of the favorites. But he said, if you had one last Melgus 24 World Championship to sail in, and you could choose one tactician, who would it be?
I don't know. I like a lot. All of them. Come on.
You can't pick all. You can't pick all of them.
I mean, I don't know. No, it's too complicated. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, John.
Everyone, I make them all special. When I'm sailing with them, they are the best.
Yeah. Well, and it's probably you that's helping them get to where they are, right?
No. I mean, honestly, guys, I have to be honest. I don't think that I think that I'm a decent trimmer. Okay, I'm not definitely a top trimmer in the world, for sure. There are guys that are better than me, but I think that I'm a really world champion in passion and to work out. It's very difficult to beat Fred for this.
Yeah, I agree. There's no doubt about that. Alec, is Ian on? Can you hear us? Do you know?
Yeah, I think we have Ian here. I think his video might be out, but Ian, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, all right. Well, we're glad to welcome you, Ian, to rattle off a couple rapid fire questions for Federico here.
Great. Thank you very much. So yeah, I have a few carefully curated questions I'd like to ask you on behalf of the Lake Minnetonka Sailing School. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get started here. Do you believe in ghosts?
Do you believe?
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I have a lot of them in my. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Have you ever stolen money from a friend?
I tried to steal the wallet of Sam, but I mean, at the end, it was with no money inside, so I was very disappointed.
Yeah, same thing happened to me actually. Have you ever cheated in a board game?
No, I hate board game.
Okay.
But I tell you, I have been pointed as a big cheater on the water.
When was the last time you showered?
This afternoon. But then I can tell you that was like a week.
Okay, right on.
Mountain bike.
How many pillows do you generally sleep with?
One.
Have you ever accepted a bribe?
Sorry? What
Have
is
you ever
that?
accepted a bribe?
What is a bride?
bribe?
Someone gives you money in order to do their bidding.
No, this normally is Sam.
What is your shoe size?
I'm 12.
Oh, wow. You know what they say. Big
No.
feet, good sailors. Do you like country music?
Yes, a lot.
Who is your favorite superhero?
Sam Rogers.
Enough.
Do you have any nicknames?
Yeah, many. 93 is the name that I like more, but most of the people are calling me Fred.
Okay. Cool. And then I guess I had, one more question. What is the biggest piece of advice you could give to an aspiring sailor?
It's all about the journey.
I like that.
We covered that. The one I like.
Stay away from Sam as much as possible.
Don't bribe Sam. Don't accept bribes from Sam.
The current
Bad
state
news.
regulations make that easy.
Federico, one question we asked Taylor last week that I liked from Ian was, what's your biggest fear?
I think honestly, stop dreaming.
Yeah.
And I know that I looks older than 46, but I look at me on the mirror, and first of all, I like it a lot. I like him a lot. But still, if you ask me how old are you, Fred, I can tell you 25.
Yeah. I like it. So one thing that you can relate, so we're going to wrap up here in a couple minutes, but you've raced e-scows before, is that right?
Oh, yes.
Where did you do that?
I don't know. I mean, I won the U.S. A-Scout National.
Yep.
And then I sailed in Zenda for a E-Scout regatta.
Oh, the spring regatta, I think.
Yes, exactly. And amazing boat, but I still remember that I was not able to walk for like a week for the hiking. And I remember Brian Porter having fun of me because I was hiking like a old guy.
Droop hiking.
Yeah, like I remember me helping myself with a hand on the hull. Wow.
That's good. Well, we really thank you. I know it's late over there. It's getting past your bedtime, but we cannot thank you enough for being here and talking with our junior sailors. And yeah, hopefully when this gets opened up, we can come have you be a special guest at the Lake Minnetonka Sailing School in person sometime and show you what we have out here. It's a special place, and we'd love to have you sometime.
Guys, Alex, Sam, thank you very much for having me with you guys. You make my day. I'm so happy, and I really hope to come to Minnetonka Sailing Club as soon as possible.
Okay.
That'd be awesome, Fred. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Federico.